I'm here watching this video, and at the top left hand corner of the screen you will see the sad life of the average American is unbearable. Large man abroad. He makes some good videos. I'll ask you to go watch his video. Seriously. Large man abroad. His content is pretty good. It's like he takes a picture of America, factual to the point. And this one right now that I'm looking at is one of his best. Anyway, fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm encouraging you to go watch this video.
Like I said, the best place to be an American isn't in America. It's not. And people are like, well, people don't want Americans. Shut up. Shut up. People don't care. If you're a decent person, you're fine. Doesn't matter. No one cares about where you're from. Right? I've never been to a place where they're like, oh, you're an American? You better get out of here. That never happens. The people who say that are just bitter people or people who've never traveled, who are scared to actually live a life, comfortable in the bullshit hamster wheel that they've been on, you know, afraid to make a change. Not everyone's afraid to make a change. Some people just don't know where to go. Some people just don't know what path to take. Some people don't even know there is another path. And that's because of fear. We are afraid to make changes. We are. Because it's beaten into us that if we move away from what's expected of us, right? And that pressure point that society puts on us, that it's all going to fall apart, that we can't make it. We can't succeed. We can't thrive. We can't have a good life. We're going to end up on drugs and homeless. Our families are going to hate us, right? We're going to be one of the dredges. No one's going to care. And no one cares anyway. That's the thing. Because life in America is sad. No one cares. All that stuff. But I think the world is just tired of America. I think it is. I think it's had enough. The world's had enough of America. You know, America's trying to slap tariffs on everybody, tell the rest of the world how to live. They've been trying to do that for a long time, invading everybody, causing coups. You know, the world's just tired of it. I think that's what we're seeing.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Here's another one for you.
I think it's just time that the world
and he is on point.
America behind. Let America do America things. Right? Like,
leave America behind, he said.
What it's going to become. Because how can you?
Those of you who have done it,
this country.
Is he correct?
And I feel for the people, right? Because a lot of the people here, they're going to be stuck here, right? Like travel, maybe that goes away too. You know, the American passport is a powerful thing. You can just kind of go everywhere without really worrying about a visa.
Well, it's dropping down right now. It is not.
You know, it's the penalty that the American people have to pay.
It's not in demand as it was before. A lot of countries are putting restrictions on American passports holders.
Right?
So where you go, be careful. Don't just get on the airplane thinking that you're going to be accepted and welcome.
You know, think about this past one with Kamala.
Even places like Brazil, you have to have a visa now, and they've got all kind of restrictions.
Terrible choices. Even with Biden, the guy clearly had dementia. Clearly had dementia. You know, these bad choices. You don't have good choices before that. Hillary, bad choices. You may like these people, but this is not likable to normal people who are uninformed. People who don't know anything about politics, don't know anything about these people's history. They just come across as not human. I mean, that's why the whole like reptile people came into the discussion, because at some point these people are in power long enough, or they're wealthy beyond imagining for so long that they just don't seem human. They're out of touch. They got to go outside, touch grass, and they haven't touched it in a long time. They don't even know what grass is. Like last week when Trump came out and was talking about groceries. It's an old term. I started using it. People love it. Groceries. These people aren't meant to lead us. But these are the only choices that we have. Because and honestly, it's a clown show. When you live outside of the States, it's just kind of normal everywhere. I mean, listen, politics are weird everywhere in the world. But in America especially, I mean, just the things that people wear too. The cartoonists don't seem like real people. Cartoon people on TV telling us how to live our lives.
Reactions to it, but let's get into it.
Black fatigue, it has recently been turned into a feeling that some white and black people have who say they are damn tired of foolishness of some black people. The claims of racism from sunup to sundown, loud talking, fighting, and the list goes on. Not my list now, keep that in mind. But some people are tired of the complaints and don't give a damn. Here's what one TikTok user had to say about it.
Not racist, and I know y'all been told this is racist, but it's not. It's not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're doing to society at this moment. I'm glad people are noticing this because it's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all that white people are tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all too, but everybody, the world is getting sick of y'all, and I'm so glad this day is here. I've been trying to get out there that you people need help. Me, but me and other black conservatives. We've been trying to warn society that this is what it's going to come to when y'all keep coddling black people.
All righty, are her feelings valid? Joining us to talk about it, Dr. Angela Jones, political analyst, Angela Box, activist, Eugene Howard, filmmaker Sean Welling, and conservative M. Williams. We want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor. First of all, let's define what black fatigue is supposed to be, Dr. Jones.
Black fatigue is supposed to be just and I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Basically, society is saying that they're tired of how black people are blaming things that have happened to us historically in the past on what's happening today. And they are also now adding different things that they have seen in society to that behavior as well. As she said, like loud mouthing or maybe, using certain words or certain behaviors in public. So that this absolutely
okay, good night, folks.
I mean, the thing is, it's an absolute.
Back to Angela number one. I really disagree with this. It is a completely behavior-based issue. And when white people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black fatigue because of the behavior of some black people, we've all seen it. We all know what it is. It's everywhere. And, the issue is way more insidious than people realize. And I talk about how a lot of these things come back to what the Democrat Party is about community purposefully. Starting with the Great Society of Lyndon B. Johnson, who he famously said, I'm going to have these N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. When Democrats said you don't need fathers in the home, you can be on welfare and have as many babies as you want. And oh, by the way, we're going to destroy public schools and we're going to make sure that behavior standards are seen as racist. So the out-of-control behavior that we've seen in the classrooms, in society, all over, is part and parcel of what the Democrat Party has done to the black.
And also taking fathers out of the home, which is a huge problem in the black community. You don't think that...
There you got it. The conversation continues. This thing is turning into a war in America. And, well, you left. You understand the situation. You understand the situation. That's why you decided, you know what? I'm going somewhere else. And I have to be, I'm laughing at this thing all over. Because it can go both ways. But I know why Caucasian people use it. Use that code word. I understand. I comprehend. I understand. I comprehend. Anyway, just to give you a view of what's going on and who's talking and doing what. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is intended for educational purposes only. This is another one of my news feeds that I get daily, I would say. I don't look at all of them but I just skipped through them and picked out what I think is of interest to us. When you look at this photo, tell me how many of these people look European to you, like today's Indian. Tell me. Now the room is filled with people, and you look and see how many of them have African features and the skin color of the African. Now when you look back at these photos, it says 200 years. So that means that during the beginning of the British rule of India and prior, this is what India looked like. Today now, you have the Greco, I would say, Greco-English people ruling India. Now they've taken on the Hindu religion now, just like the so-called Jew. Taking on the Canaanite religion. And I know some of my people are going to get upset when I say Canaanite religion. That's why they be teaching that Bible, thinking that the Bible is a Jewish book. And it's not. But anyway, we're not dealing with the Bible today. Or our fellow or brothers who want to be tied to them people from Europe. Anyway, this is India in the past now. This is one of the stories that we should be knowing about. One of those stories I told you about the river. How people come out of Africa, travel all the way around the world, and today, moving back into Africa. Their children, moving back into Africa. Be proud of their African heritage. You see how that river works? It's strange, isn't it? To us who don't have the knowledge, when I say, well, to those who don't have the knowledge, because now you who been watching my videos and hearing what I had to say, some of you saying, nah, it can't be. You're looking at it. This is the story of us. And it goes deeper than this. When I began like delving into the story of Africa and how the world, how when I told you Africa has a we overpower everything else on the planet. Even though America's got atomic bombs, they still have to reach out and try to stifle Africa. Even though they say Africa is poor, children are hungry, we are starving, we won't be anything unless they help, they still have to reach out and destabilize our people. I mean, the world can't do anything without Africa. I am telling you that. And it's not only because of the resources. That if you guys have watched and you see from let's go back to 18, even before that. During slavery, you had men brought from Africa who couldn't read the English language. But the minute that they looked at the business of what they were doing, they created machinery that the Caucasian stole and used it to make himself wealthy. After 1865, when the war was finished, black people came into the Congress of the United States and started changing the country for the better. Start making the country more inclusive, and guess what? America start being more prosperous. America start being more prosperous. But then Caucasian couldn't handle that. Couldn't see a black man fixing the system. Jim Crow. And now you got today. As soon as black people start being included, saying, well, you know what, turn loose we're going to give people, the black people, opportunity to show what he can give, because America is in trouble. They need us. Here comes Trump and his parade. But that's the way it is. You know, when these people are saying that they're tired of black people complaining, yes, there's some of us that act a fool. We all know that. That's yes, I'm not saying, I'm going to say something that don't take misconstrue it. We tend to follow this Caucasian in a manner that's destructive to us. We like to choose the worst of their society to inculcate it, to bring it into our society. See? But when you turn loose black people to do what they do, you get the NBA. Look at football. Football was in the 1950s and 60s compared to today more competitive. They had to change the rules for their people, but they don't call that DEI for them. Basketball, they had to change the rules. Don't call it DEI for them. You see what I'm saying? And today's DEI is for the Caucasian male. You see, the United States is looking forward. They're looking down the road and they said, damn, in 40 years, Caucasian males are going to be in the position where black people are in today. Hispanics are going to be running things. They are trying to protect the Caucasian male. And he's meant to make it look like if black people are getting something that he's not getting. You guys got to see it. You guys are not looking at this thing in reality. This is about protecting him. It might seem like today he's the boss, but those people are looking down the road. The people who are presidents and the think tanks are looking down the road. I told you about what think tanks do in the country. They look forward, change the laws now, so that when things change in the future, they are still protected. That's what this is all about. This so-called DEI thing is protecting the Caucasian. DEI, it served the Caucasian woman now. And in the time of Biden and Obama, and even the first Trump administration, that's what DEI did. It protected the white woman, the Caucasian woman. This one, what they are doing now is protecting the Caucasian male. Today, they are seeing the Caucasian male dropping out of school just like black men. They can't compete with their women. The women are taking the jobs and the white men are left behind. And all of a sudden you say, hey, if you've seen some of the programs that I see showing Caucasian males going the way of Chinese males and Japanese males and Korean males These people are looking at it. Their think tanks are looking at this situation and saying, hey, we got to do something to protect our people. And that's what this thing is all about. Taking black and Hispanic people out so they can keep Caucasian as the so-called majority and in power. Anyway, we started talking about the Indians. I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, another one. I'm at it again. Sorry to be loading you down with all this information today, but fair use, fair use, fair use. This information is used for educational purposes only. I do not make any money from it. I do not get YouTube money for this at all. Never have. And I hope I never will. So far, things have been going well. And I hope I never will. See this? West Africa Sahel region has seen proliferation of militant jihadist groups since the 1990s. Now, the 1990s is not when they were created, but just after they were created. I would say, when I say just after, I don't mean like 50 years ago. I'm talking within a decade or so. In the late 1970s, when oil was used against Israel, people started thinking of ideas on how to keep that from happening again. And this jihadist groups is what they came up with. You will never see that, what I just told you, in the news. You will never see it in the news. You hear what I'm telling you? But that's what the think tanks came up with. There you go. Despite growing pressure from counter-military campaigns spearheaded by local, regional, and international militaries, right? This special group that right now that Mali and Burkina Faso are fighting, right? That the French brought in to fight against them, to keep the area destabilized, steal all the resources. Not only the French use them, but the Indians use them. You hear what I'm telling you? The Indians use them. Now here they're telling you this is how they get their money, right? Right? You look at that, you say, yes, oh yeah, that's what these little kids that they put into slavery in Africa is doing. Okay, true. But look further down now. See, this is they said 30 billion. Is that right? This so-called artisanal gold mining. You see how these people name things? But look at it. $30 billion annually, according to a report from Swiss Aid. Swiss Aid. Remember that name. Swiss Aid. Okay? Now, they also get money from kidnapping. Right? As you see the kidnapping going on in Nigeria. And the Nigerian government, the governors in Nigerian states, all have their control of their independent groups. You hear what I'm telling you? The Nigerian governors make money off of this. Livestock theft. It's not about livestock theft here. My people, I'm going to say something now that there's I hope you don't get disturbed about those of you who are call yourself, who know you're fuller. But I would say majority of these people are fuller, or what they call the Tuaregs. The Tuaregs are actually the real Hebrews now. Come all the way from Egypt. The fuller are the same. Yoruba, the Hausa. Man, let me stop calling names. People are going to get upset. And the people from Senegal. You watch a Senegalese wrestler. Oh man, we ought to do genetic testing on all those people. You'll see what I'm talking about. Nevertheless, here's what you gotta look at carefully. In the areas where the group exerts influence, the paragraph that starts with artisanal gold mining. According to a report by Swiss Aid, a development group based in Switzerland, the EU, the main destination for the gold are UAE, Turkey, and Switzerland. The Swiss gold mining and jewelry is controlled by whom? It's brought out of South Africa to make it look legitimate, mixed with Congo, Sudan, the Sahel region, Cameroon, all the areas. It used to be Ghana, but Ghana now is pretending that they're shutting it down. But look where it's going. UAE, Turkey, Switzerland. Who's training the terrorists? The Turks. The Israelis. The Swiss is providing, the UAE and Swiss, the EU, the funding. And the UAE is not just a single country. The UAE is aligned with what you call the GCC. I told you about GCC yesterday in the video. Gulf Cooperative Council. They want Saudi Arabia to be in charge, which is the land of Saud. UAE is one of Saudi's grandchildren. King Saud, grandchildren. You gotta know history. GCC is becoming, they're raising up the GCC to get in Israel into the GCC. Underneath they changed it from the Abraham Accords now to, and they're pushing Israel out of the, what would you call it now? Into the, a little bit into the background. Building up Saudi Arabia and the GCC and bringing Israel silently. But one day I asked you the question. If you wake up one morning and see all the IDF soldiers in America, what would you think? You see how this thing is coming together? All the I would like to see all the African guys, the African people who do these programs, informing Africans, to look for this information, bring it to their people, bring it to our people, wherever they are. All right? Okay. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy your day. Peace.